na omadidi ehon komo sabre de Mr. EUGENE POKU striker aje akonya kese na ode yen to aso ewo Promise 102.7
Solomon Carter
boss
bibia bokodi
nyame adom bibia okay
born again na sisie oti akire o se wabre nam so die no ye abeso wo sori ahomache na wanya ka amfa ma adwuma nam se wanya ka asesei o se wa uni wa wo ka nam se born again
adwuma omo abre do
se o fi na AJFM na ho ba ntema nko be ha adwene
no omo abre adwuma do so
se sie born again so peka hey born again oh asem so lo se do si kan sa na ye be ye no eberu amanone
yeah
na odi amanone nsem ne simadu
yes
na ya amanone nsem ne ho adwuma e de eguo na afi wuwi a ye bebe fie ni abedi nkomo ewo fie
yeah
ene nkomo a ye bedie eye Ghana Premier League say league ne ni sponsor Ghana Premier League
yes
games air course over the weekend ene ba koso air course Aduana Stars omo etne fie nana Ajimabedu Park omo ne league leaders Samates na ebo match no ashase ye bewura ho na ehun nsem ye de atodwa ewo edwaso coach Bashir Hayford head coach de ma Heart of Lions bobo eku no enura nano memeda na Heart of Lions ehya Asante Kotoko kabako a omo antimi ante na no na Bashir Hayford say the da Heart of Lions anim no rescue mission no ye no ho o hwe so obedu omo nkwa relegation no mo da no obeyi omo edo omo afri ho eno ensema coach Bashir Hayford e de atodwa nano yawoda na nanu fiada ene yedi nkomo e de fa Danlad Mohammed ninsem a ode kotudwa e wo TikTok Abrantie Danlad Ibrahim captain e de makumasi Asante Kotoko former player e de ma Asante Kotoko Rahim Ayu abedi Pele ne ba Rahim Ayu
yes
o say o advice bi e de ma Danlad Mohammed the advice and Danlad Ibrahim asemo o say our advice and Danlad Ibrahim nti awie ye beti advice Rahim Ayu so wo Danlad Ibrahim awoye Asante Kotoko captain nso wo ha ye bedi eho enkomo Ghanaian clubs aye na wotwe no awie ye omugina Ghana na mu African club competition mediema etna fie nanu fiada ema Nadi El Ali omufri Egypt ebe show mokabako amantimi ante sa so na enra Baba Yara Sports Stadium Dreams FC ebe omoden ehye Club Africain kabako amantimi ante omoso honsem yatena se awiei ni nyina na yebedi ho enkomo se de solo edi tudwa no yebe sori so nonsia na nonsia kasebo on Promise 102.7 yabomoden ede abremo ebrenu duru si ebie line a the control number na eto 0536161607 0536161607 0536178883 ubetimi afre na wabadwumadi ni so na solo nim de si ewo doma
boss matete na emu akakra
Samates 2 Aduana Stars 0
but Samates is oma make your intentions clear so
omunya league no Samates for medin komo omunya Africa ombebo omaye ready some person mo Champions League.
Hey.
Yes. Omaye ready. Some person mo Champions League. Enti afi league no.
Na nka boy.
Eni bre e no mo de ahye league ni.
Obo no mo boy against Aduana and they are not them pa.
Eni bre. Teams enta nkodoma enkolidi Aduana 2-0 te say de omaye. So Samates for INT. Samates nso mani abre afi league no. Omo enya omo baji. We ni sembebre. Eni yatena se awie e wo Promise 102.7 so na on Promise TV ayedi nyina ebo modern ede abramo enti kan ho efisa abre misisu bi nkopem se no nsia bebo ede agode mu nsem ebramo for messages nyina bra na yenkan no o afidie so emfa emrew yenkoi na Solomon Carter emfa nsem ewa mono ne enwo ema ya bedwafo ni nyina ofia obeto monka bafo wa ewa hasaso na Obed o ahene champon saa so ɛna captain siasia ɛna Lasan Said Zakito mu nyinaa ɛwɔ fie a awia yi ɔmo ɛbɛka wɔn ne yɛdi nkɔmɔ Abbas Suleiman ɛyɛ House of Folk Chitani kɛseɛ ɔno ɛna ɛyɛ deputy organizer National Chapters Committee ɔno so ɛba bɛpim wɔ ha na afei yɛn nyinaa yɛde agorɔ no ɛde abrɔ baabi bia wɔ bia nti simedu ɛdi anim deɛ yɛkɔ amano ne na Solomon Kata ɛde ensɛm ɛwɔ amano ne ɛgu hɔ ɛde amayɛ solo
boss all right nti 416 pepepe yɛkɔ amano ne na tawtaw yabɔ ensɛm no ɛde amamo na afei yɛhwɛ afisɛm a ɛno so ɛba sɛdeɛ ɛyɛ boss player de headlines ne to dwane saa pepepe ɛna abadwafo ɛbɛdidi ho nkɔmɔ but for now yɛwuram na ensɛm a ɛnkansuo ɛna awia yi ɛwɔ foreign front yɛde adan mu ɛwɔ dwumadie ne so hyɛ ne so ɛsɛ still ɛyɛ highway sports ɛna oguso a wotie wɔ promise 102.7 FM show ne sign live ɛwɔ promise television live ɛwɔ Facebook at promise radio ɛna afei ɔyɛ passports on Facebook wobɛnya dwumadie ne bi na wahwɛ na mehyɛ nsɛm na se ɛde free Everton boboko na so yɛ na abɛka ya November bosomi last year ɛna Premier League you know ɛte Everton 10 points ne nyina ne sɛ financial fair play wɔn mu bu emra ne so na wɔn mu kyerɛ mu a eni sɛ team bia ɛyinkɛ losses ɛbro 105 million pounds nanso 2021-2022 season no wɔn mu hwɛ Everton books mu no wɔn mu sɛ wɔn mu nya excess of 21 million pounds into no na semra no abo mu nti Premier League mpanyinfo tena ase ɛna wɔn te Everton 10 points Everton tena ase no mse da bi as a decision a ye take it to omo no na nya ne kwan so enti omo koya appeal na omo appeal no yes omo stage 9 points ɛna ɛde come Premier League wɔn prosecutor say ɛmo hwɛ 9 points imo na ɛsɛ number 1 ya kan we number 2 ya kan we sa na momfanya appeal emfama ye evi say gds points na mate no enye ne kwan so a awie ya de banie Premier League mpanyimfo atena Everton case ne so 10 points omuti omo no womo yi emunsia fro enan aka de ye de ama omunti no 10-6 ena yate ye ban ne so de aba eno ye ni gisem a eba ewo Everton boboko no womo so ye de mamo ewo dwumadie ne so na awie nti no SSA Premier League table ne sakrayaba ewo so before say ene ruling neighbor me cha appeal ruling no na Everton etoso edu nwotwe ewo Premier League table ne so ano 21 points enti they say 4 points eno manya kom tally no apejo mom abetoso edunom enti on your screen 17 etoso edunom am sign Brentford and Nottingham Forest ho say Everton ewo 25 points Brentford or 24 Nottingham Forest or 24 Everton every relegation zone and no niji semeba Ediama Everton boboko no eni omachita fo nyina na wie ya 10 points eti omone yate so Ediaba 6 eno so won sem kakra eno no na mi free wa me de mani kyerem ewo Laurels Sports Awards na unim se dwumadie afi bi etumi baso na afi de no me ba cho ekoso ewo eye Madrid April 22 and a Laurel Sports Awards no eba so na nomination aba bontin area na we ni running in a merem kakra say yenya sportsmen a chese omo bobo a omo rem e nominations ni mu a e chese ohwa na say yanika sem kakra every say wo hwe e nomination for 2024 Laurel's World Sportsman of the Year footballers mienu apiem e wo ho Lionel Messi and Erling Haaland was Sportsman of the Year no alongside Novak Djokovic or a tennis star and in Noah Lyles on your athlete after Mondo Duplantis one who see athlete and Max Verstappen one who Moto GP one who granted for Sportsman of the Year awards ewa Laurels 2024 ufriwa na yenya World Breakthrough of the Year nesem afinimuno womu chese omujumadi omudino na enini omo suddenly obi ebo enyom edimo Jude Bellingham of course Real Madrid werem Linda Caicedo and so a female player Edema Madrid bobo kono kaubi Salma Parelujo one also bo Edema FC Barcelona feminine afe Coco Gauff a tennis star a Queen Hyun Yang one also swimmer wɔka na fe Just Care enso ye athlete we no breakthrough of the year eno nomination ena media to dwa no sports woman of the year and also Barcelona ababa one din ede Aitana Bonmati wɔka Sherika Jackson wotumrika de ma Jamaica wɔram Faith Kipchoge wɔyɛ Kenyan long distance runner wɔka bi Shakari Richardson athlete Emma USA wɔka Michaela Schifrin wɔn nso MotoGP star ɛna afei Iga Swiatek wɔn nso yɛ tennis star wɔn ɛram ɛna afei Laurel's World Comeback of the Year na sɛ wɔn ɛka ketewa bi anka sporting discipline no mo yɛ no ɛnka biribi nti wɔn gyae nanso wɔn atimi aba back wɔn di dwuma so Sebastian Haller wonim sɛ onya cancer ɛwɔ ne ntɔhwɛ mu wɔretɛne yɛ wɔnom footballer afei Sia Kolisi South Africa mebacho rugby wɔn captain ɔno ɛwɔ Jamal Murray NBA star Simone Biles enso ɛka bi ababa we ɛne ho sɛm ne ba papa evi sɛ wɔyɛ saa ukɔ athlete mo hurihuri na sɛ ɔmo toto ɔmo nan ne ade no nyame nko gya dwumadie no evi sɛ duru baabi na kyɛ sɛ emu ayɛ den ɛde ama ne mentally afei Katrina Johnson Thompson ɛne Maketa Vendrosova a ɔno so yɛ tennis star wɔno so ɛwɛm Laurels mebacho ma water eba so Madrid ɛho nomination kakra ɛna medema mo dwumadie ne so na unim sɛ Roberto Di Zerbi nanu ada Roma ɛpamo orani tin ɛde Jose Mourinho ɔmo kɔna so yɛ orani catch ɔmo sɛ dabi wɔyɛ Brighton project no enti na ninji Roma adwuma na we na nwa kakra fi sɛ Di Zerbi adamfo ayɛ frɛ no Andre Bonatti ɛna okodi nkɔmɔ Radio Serie A and what did to just say, one who deserve be catrano. Ese Roma ba, Esom Ranove coach Omnanso, Naninji Roma Jumanoa, and Roberto Di Zerbi, one who said the free oba, Yadimamo, Ewa Jumadianiso and the area. Now, Unim said as at February 26, European Golden Shoe, Rankino, Mebacho sign it here, Neso Co Europa based on A League Gibia. Coefficiency strikers on modern ball ekon kan pan goals do ben no ma share and I say goals is saying and no ma share as at February 26 and rather after league games basu Europe no me ba cho European golden shoe no on your screen sa NTM Harry Kane Eddie Kane 27 goals on ma when you 54 points after Lautaro Martinez about 22 goals to sumi no Kylian Mbappe about 21 what to sumi and some and so on, Nasa Ako Adams, one also about 22 goals. Now, difference in this a coefficient in the media so chambi, and tis a major European leagues anymore. The more goals out now points, and so across the Panemum, and lower leagues in the Mudia, a now coefficient, and from Kakra, and Tubeum, a brand anything, and the Ahmad Pellegrino, Wabo, and some, more FK, was 24 goals. Nanso ni coefficient ni 1.5 until the points ever form anti European golden shoe wine abeje esini nice at the end of the season. Harry Kane, Lautaro Martinez, Kylian Mbappe, womo ena LED oha. Yede no so nsem no emamo ewo show ne so na anopa ena beto dwa ese Real Madrid any Alphonso Davies woma reach agreement ese when your personal terms as Alphonso Davies Peso Kosia Kadima Madrid Bobo Kono play on a contract be 2025. Na yesi Madrid officially womni Bayern Munich womunya twetwen komo ebiso gidi as a player na ka chom so beba ne de akasi kaka krabia womu de bekwa koma Bayern Munich na 2024 waba be si akan de amomo na se Bayern eya so den no man top player na ebe se Kylian Mbappe de no 2025 obeko free no akobo Ediama Madrid. Na de etenye yesi Bayern. Any Alphonso Davies tonight so mo extend the contract boss. As Alphonso Davies catch Bayern so bejo mo 20 million euro a year. As Bayern Munich say, man say ska we dia sundudu na Bayern no players how do say any ti o mo eska kesi say ntino Alphonso Davies na say ska no what time the boy said e Bayern e be ton na mana kwa eno so won sem no na Alphonso nsem ne Bayern na no bekan e say Tio Hernandez ɛna Bayern Munich pɛ mo fa no na yɛsi AC Milan ɛnso aka kyɛn Bayern nso mo Petio Hernandez a ɛyɛ flat rate 100 million euro Bayern in famra ɛsɛ wei no ubetua 20 ama Davis ɛne so ɔbɛkɔ akɔfa 100 ɛde akɔma ɛyɛ Theo Hernandez na ɛno so ɛtwetwe Bayern Munich ɔmo bo a ɛsɛ sɛ ɛno so ayɛ asɛm a ɛho yɛ den ɛde ama ɔmo a ɔmo take decision na ɔmo ahum ɛyɛ kwan ɔmo bɛfa so a ɛno so ne deɛ ba Paris Saint-Germain after Kylian Mbappe when na ɛkɔ unim sɛ Rafael Leo din aba na ɛne latest ɛbɛnie wura mu Napoli a Victor Kvaratskhelia yɛsi PSG ɛfa adwen ɛsɛ so ɔmo kɔ Rafael Leo ho na mfa Kvaratskhelia ɛyɛ possible replacement ɛde ma owurani tin ɛde Kylian Mbappe no aba no abɛtoa so ɛde ama PSG wɔn bobo kono na no ada ɛne pamo Gattuso ɛnso efiri Olympic Marseille sɛ oni team a okochi na yɛsɛ kunturu yɛ ne nkyia na ɛkɔ wasa kɔ ne krom Italy na report ne sɛ Sassuolo wɔn se adwuma owurani dindi Alessio Dionisi ebo no wɔn ani nje ho enti wɔn ne Gattuso kasa ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo pam Dionisi a ɔbɛba bɛgye Sassuolo adwuma no na ɔyɛ adwuma ɛde ama ɔmo a ɛno so ho nsɛm no na the world's oldest player a ɔda so bɔbɔ boss ɛnɛ yɛ ne birthday na owura no ɔyɛ Japanese footballer ye friend Kazuyoshi Mura wadi mfie aduonum enso 57 years ɛna Kazuyoshi Mura edia wada so bobolo na we no strike edima ɛyɛ team ani dindi Oliveirense a Portugal League 2 enti owura no na den screens ne so no na so ɔhyase bɔbɔ from the 80s 90s 2000s 2010 ewremu 2020 sia ene eye ni 57th birthday wada so sia kan edima Oliveirense eno so ewo Portugal Liga 2 eno so onsem no Sofiane Amrabat on loan obebo de Manchester United from Fiorentina Lord Lord General Zakito player no na yesima you akache Fiorentina as a loan deal no end this season we are enya de a ombe extend and as ombe to player no permanently enti Sofiane Amrabat besan return no awuram ewo Fiorentina no akoto aso abo e de amomo no so e report free oba e de mamo ewo dwumadie ne so ene awiai Jadon Sancho ene ese Borussia Dortmund France ni bi ashase enwinwi efa player no ne comeback nyina nse wo mugidie sa akwa no modern born wo from na we kan wunya chese we nyina kan bi ena Man United eja ne kwa ne nyina ne so baaye no enemo mpese Sancho ye no wontimi nya ama yese obobo ne kra na ye den ejama na eno so eye supporters no wo agitations a wo kan edifa Jadon Sancho ho a ye gire no so na ye de amano ne nsem no esi enawia on today's sports na fa dwumadie no highway today's ne highway tinwe highway sports on Promise Radio 102.7 and I think live on or your passports on Facebook Promise Radio on Facebook ti boss obeto aso na fa dwumadie no ye de rema kopem se no nsia ebebo ebe sorry nkonya so.
This is 102.7 FM.
Okay, yamamu nyina kwa babiem Solomon Carter edi awura eye amonone nkofo nkroso orewrem abomoden edi ni nyina aba bafo wa atenase Dangerman akwaba
Mejo so head of sports
bibia boko de
nyame adom
bibia afefa wie so ho ye kama de
ye ni na mu
enwoma koso
ya say bibia kwani de na ye nkomodie ni
sa
ayi ntino nkomodie akobo bibia ho se week na fe ni ye fi ase
okay tia nkomo be sa na wudi
unimi se me madwuma no ho no metadi ho nkomo ende me wo ho no because ade a be ma de bia wo sori ba obenya nsema amafo a omo so ombe so moti so omoti nsema ekoso wo agokansie mu no ese eno no eye wo number 1 me de sala me de me fa no me meti hoyi me number 1 priority de bia ne se me da sori no na me bia me nam no mame nsemo a ekoso wo ewiase mu particularly Ghana ha fa agokansie ho se ne be ya
ba benya bia ka
ye no mu di dwuma ya de bia no
benya bia ma etiefo ne ahwefo
mo so nya bia etie nti ya na eno no ye me first priority of course abrabɔ mu nkɔmmɔ wɔ hɔ nyamesom mu nkɔmmɔ ne all those things no so wɔ hɔ a wɔn na de kakra twitwum kakra
edu sɛ obɛda na wabɔ mpaeɛ ɛyɛ ahyɛ nyankopɔn sɛ ɔnhwɛ ɔsoma ade pankyɛw nti nyame yɛ wadom na ade pa ne kyewa wosɔre a na wode aseda ama nyame awie a waka kyɛ ne sɛ nyame bɔ na menya stories tere bɛyɛ mekwam mede bɛkɔ akɔsom
sɛ ɔmokɔ amrɔbi ɔmbɔ mpaeɛ o
amrobes ɛkyerɛ wan ɔmɔbɔ kyerɛ wan
sɛ awurade yɛ kɔ menya adwuma sɛ ɔmɔ yɛ fundaka no yɛ no mpɛ sɛ ɔmɔ adwuma ba o
ɛyɛ asɛm o
ɛti yɛso yɛ deɛ no no sɛ nyankopɔn nyɛ adom na agya
stories mmra
ɔma yɛ bi na yɛn so yɛntimi
sɛ bɛyɛ wobɛtumi de waka kyerɛ ɛyɛ wadɔfoɔ
ɛtiefoɔ no ɔhu sɛ dwumadeɛ yɛdi yɛne nnipa binom na ɛdi a ɔmo ka ho bi na ma dwumadeɛ no ɛtumi yɛ complete o awie a yɛabɛtena ase mebɛyi dum amanfoɔ biebie gu mu a ɔmo tie highway ɔmo a ɔmo fi aseɛ prepare sɛ ɔmo pɔn ɔmo tie ɔkɔfo no kaa ɔtie na ɔde akɔdu fie nti ɛno na engage no so ho ɛno na engage no no na ɔde kɔ a ɔkɔdu fie na agya the rest of the day no de aka na ɔde akɔto aso wɔ hɔ no nti sɛ ne nipa nso yɛsi tie no da bia ɛpɛ sɛ yɛte nsɛm foforɔ nti no
nipa asomyɛ ne dɛ
me deɛ mankasa aba menim sɛ nipa pɛ sɛ ɔte nsɛm foforɔ
sɛ nipa bia asomyɛ ne dɛ anaa wonim
sɛ no no saa na kyerɛ deɛ aneɛ but menim sɛ de biare a yɛpɛ sɛ yɛte nsɛm foforɔ
sɛ ɔnino na ma wasomyɛ dɛ no
ɛne na kyɛ sɛ saa
nipa pɛ sɛ ɔhu deɛ ɛkɔ so wiase
of course
but ɛnɛ generation no aba no ɛyɛ na ɔmo yɛ much more interested in deɛ de nipa bɛbɔ fam more than deɛ bɛma nipa atu mpɔn
ɛno deɛ nyɛ sɛ obi te saa ɛnyɛ
ɛwɔ hɔ paa
ɛnyɛ ɛno deɛ
ɛwɔ hɔ paa
yɛm try sɛ yɛbɛboa nipa ama nipa apagya tu mpɔn akɔnkan ɛsen sɛ obi ahwe aseɛ bɛyɛ wo da na bɛyɛ wo fɛ anaasɛ obi hwe aseɛ a asɛ mfa wo ho daabi nipa na ɔhwe aseɛ a wonya hwee ba wo so obi kɔnkan a sɛ wonya hwee mpɔ mfi ne ho a ɔbɛtumi aboa foforɔ enti sɛ nipa tu mpɔn ɛdeɛ na ɛfɛ sɛ wo nua te sɛ mete sɛ na wo ni soro ka bɔ na gain sɛ ɔpɛ kaa metie na mani agye
na wani agye
ti asɛm bɛyɛ no sɛ mekora mba a medie wopa agye ma no wogye medie di ma no
sɛ wede hia sɛ ɔbɛka kyɛ me woduru anim anaa de
dabi ɛnhyehyɛ na ɛde bɛma no wogye medie di ma no a na wapagya mu kakra so ho wapagya mu kakra sɛ bɛmedie sɛ bɔna gɛ na yi so a sɛ nkanyɛ bad o
na sɛ wokora yi so ɛnyɛ bad
nti no yɛfama yɛ nua no wate aseɛ memaboro wei so asɛm ntia na ma me da so ti so ati ase born again dia wa start afi no peka ne die no wo de start fefefe kama enti we head of sports ye pon a me ntrase na pe kwan befa so a wo be ya ma born again nya we no na me so wa ma me foforo so ti ase wo se say na ba bia dia wutimi nei wutimi se wo dem fefefe kama
wa nya sa de na be
hey wo ya na 2024
Hey,
what? This is my brother.
Saturday.
Me don't know me who. Me got tell mu kakra, me say that got tell mu kakra. Na pese me feel ade no. Ekwe crowd to sukra.
Ohwe na nka wase.
Yo.
Big man.
Nyame ase.
Mokwa, nyame de bacho na. Nyame de
afi bia jibon na.
Woko. Na wonu ekose say mo anije. Me de me nije. Because who quay
sanity
then you about here say the kakra
bafowa minu acho kan asem imi fi wa asem
asem na ye kan so hia wo
bacho bebre misrewa
but again asem na ye kan we kwanya wo asem
so na minu nyina ejina the same skill I used to be
just we say nyakopon fa nyame mpesa
I used to be the ejina the same
skill enti what me na kasa asem
memfa me nkosi ba bia me nuru ho
na ba kono kra no ho asem kra ye nka nwie yo de si fie kra ya enkra di ko school kra
misro bebre mpacho a misrewa mpacho
nyame ne eda nase
misrewa
nyame ne eda nase
obe ya mo bi be boa me a
wati o ba
wati o ba fo ano sise ni se ade asu ni ho
the credit the otina mo de aha so no catch us anete ara say
eti say what say
oh so on so I don't catch on say obi in the sanity aha but nipa no so benya
access no na what na dana ade say dia
nya ketwa
o hwe na kan
nya ketwa
na wonya de o
no so kan wontie no
nya ketwa bra
wati nkuto yi ni tiri ho no
Gibo download asem no
e ba be hwe na asem
no
Rahim Ayu edina no atum nti e ba be hwe mame mo obeda kwa ba bibia boko de
bibia boko kan asem na de esi nya botene kan
why ready so be ya na be say me you
because
be say me you fi mana
me da na me hu ne o mayi
na ka di
Obed
na me approach nya me ne ebo
pa cho mo fa mo messages na yen kan messages ni mamo na baby o mo de nam no enya no ne e ba ese be ye ho aduma sabri nti o de mo
bana again na go fast ma ba
mo de ba na me se me de mo messages na no aye program no de ba na makan na se me yi ano de ama na me yi panel ne de o ma frim na fo mu nya bi enka same ye na bre na afi yen hwe ensem ne mu na still Samates LED Aduana Stars by 2-0 ewo Ajima Nana Ajima Bedu Park eno ewo Doma na go bia abrantia ne din ede eye Emmanuel Kayeke ahye ewo Doma no
bono mu go no
enye go kitwa me se born again ewo ye video no enche ode beto so nti Emmanuel Kayeke former player ede ma Kumase Asante Kotoko washigwa chesesa go no ebe pre for goal of the season eya fi
Kayeke ejibo Kayeke story no e catch me and I think almost any other person say I just say oba anabe ma nyo oba bia na betimi atena na nya be bia na betimi atena because Kayeke at Karela say na Karela
yeah
he was a super player obia obepese obenya no de na ba team nti kotokokoto no na oye player obia okotoko mu bia no ewo ndaso say obeda bibia di in fact ebia obema better performance and an improve one
the expectation was so unfortunately no he could not make it at Kotoko unfortunately but the Kayeke we are seeing this season even from last season obekaya eba say ye push for local players edia say yemfa ombi nko afcon ni bi no we starter Samates eyeye ede baaye na say we dey tuto ho a you could see say Kayeke today has turned a new leaf. Kayeke is a different Kayeke we are seeing this season. And the kind of ball now all born. I will not be surprised. Say, Chan team no. Obetmenya access. So qualifier. As a league year won this season, or a contender for player of the season.
Obetmenya. Oka omo say we consider say see players be more about modern season ya. Obeye din say obeyi na free mu because bibia ye person ye hu fi ye players mu bia no at least from a midfield that from the midfield position and as a role ni there Kayeke is giving it out there to football and football fans and you know ma e ka bibi chem say enye ba bia na wo betimi atena ana obia na betimi na nante for instance in relationship utumi so obi owo bibia ba onye wukuna na onye oyire me de Kayeke ne kotoko aware no na de ye samfato hu no because obviously footballer obobo baby Ghana hano apart from Sikano the prestige obokotoko obo hasa edema wo no say owo other teams na for instance say Samatas ayeken entimi nyete say kotoko da nti sometimes you want to move say step further na say nyesi bia manone na wo kode a kai ubenya na nke bia na nke has ubenya na nke bia na nke kotoko adentia because ombema sam prestige no obe lift you
ma me fam say Aduana ateka no baako 2-1 for Samates
nti enye team bia na obetimi abo clearly Kayeke story not tells me that because the Kayeke we saw at Karela ne there anka oba kotoko no nanka pese hu more from him but when to me I make it but back now at Samates he's just about one of the best players in the league and the kind of ball na all bono the real Kayeke asan baby minim they inform me that whether a coaching whether a we say play ball also so team ni emfa no team ni spirit no emfa no and he might be a very good player but eno bo also so there be ho on team ntina environment bi e wo ho no ma on team ntina because me who players almost call land na o team ntina ho until not then they move. Now if you baby officer or maybe I think one of the reasons why Alexis Sanchez, for instance, Entimiam performed for Manchester United. Chrono no of say on in the year to London and pay more since or better the city of Manchester and obviously my went to me so the story of Kayeke very something I say I say that you know I see it me here. It's me the cancer.
But
this is it.
Adriana Stars, this is the goal.
Yeah. This is it.
Mamo, see and with me ako Facebook, or your passports, and as a promise radio. Now I should go a branch any day. Emmanuel Kayeke, Ashe, Doma, Sasuna on TV, Promise TV. Nsubit me away. Now I should go. Emmanuel Kayeke, Ashe, Doma. Adriana Stars eli momo elusu to Samates 2 Adriana Stars 1 eno ye game a ekoso ewo ho Obed
and he went me and hit the ground running again. Yeah, the confidence there, no, I'll come back to that. But Keke had issues of injuries at Kotoko. And 3, Keke enya a perfect partner. It was Antekoroko. Team na Keke ebe two mono. It was a team wa. Jibo said, Ocean Yome ya. Midfield, no, it was under reconstruction. Inti Keke at Kotoko, he played with Anabila. He played with Habib Mohammed. He played with Emmanuel Sarkodie. That was his first season. And to say Obabe adapted as a midfielder what joined Kotoko. Obe to a midfielder. Ne kwa say all the players were now adapting. Omunyina efofro. Sarkodie that saga between Nkranza Warriors, Kotoko had to folk. Alaja Kambi Munsemba Bichichemu no Koji Skanibi. I hope you remember that story.
Yeah.
Between Emmanuel Sarko. Now Fena Sarko the Aba. At the point Kotoko pushi Habib from defense because na Mubarak Aba Gani wo. It's say Habib Mohammed Kom Finfin. The Habib were also trying to adapt to the role in the middle. There was Latif and Nabila. And Fena and Nabila so from Asco that joined Asante Koroko and there was Emmanuel Keke. So use Kotoko midfield na at that time Keke betum na den sa central position no ubenya player back one wa Kotoko for 2 years ono a settle oba beje other players no welcome omo in the middle. It was a new partnership with new players trying to settle under a new administration and a pressure almost. New coach Maso Kunedu. Ti Maso na afi na oye adwuma no. Maso anya adwuma na nche. Ena Kotoko ja Maxwell kwan. Ena coach ye fene Johnson Smith take over. Smith anya adwuma na nche na Barreto buy. So the first season of Latif and Abila, the first season of Emmanuel Keke, they worked with 3 managers. So in terms of having a coach that will help you settle, in terms of having players that will help you settle, and also you assemble, and again when hit the ground running, which will come back and affect your confidence as a player. In San Yomani Kabuma, a slow start. Now, in the second season, Kotoko decided said they will now operate with Mudasiru and on Wababeshim. They started with Ogum. The time Kotoko started second season, he started from injury. Fabio Gama Aba, no Wababe settled in the middle of the season. Lamte Aba, and Agadas Aba, na wenya Mudasiru with coach Efeno Ogum. By the time Keke recover, na Kotoko a perfect midfield 3. After so free bench mum neba ebe add value. And coach at that time felt that all make it changes after getting a formula. When your formula in Lamte, when your formula in Fabio Gama, when you Mudasiru, when you Agadat, at the point when you Sheriff Mohammed, it's a ban sano, no yeah now they say obey you be a frame the Kayaka. So he had little opportunity to justify himself in the second part of Niste at Asante Koroko. After Senwa go through the difficult first season. Now he moved to Samates. He's been made the face of the Samates midfield. Oma building the team around him. And when Edimeba back to the confidence of a player. So we player now ball e wo team na se coach ni ma hu se wo na onye gidie wo mu a wo na adwuma no ma bo ba ya e kwa ofa so ball ni different. So he went to a team where there's little expectations, there's little pressure, and we're gaining the confidence. No? So now when he's operating now, shot bi ana keke okotokwa ombo. Pass bi a keke okotokwa ombo no. Se obebo ese kura still yabesa man confidence amana bobiem. Ese kura na his position is secured. Again at Kotoko, he was expected to do something he was not doing at Karela. And I know the course was Samates. So he's now closer to the penalty box. He now have the confidence to shoot. Free kick bedawa can first player or fabo. Into about 10. Nam you kura year. At the end of the day, will make it the headlines. Okay. So it's an issue that needs to be studied.
Surprisingly, Mofa Samates, or 3-man method now.
Yeah.
That they used to so or as good.
Yeah.
To benches or mobi.
Monson no akudi Samates be 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh. Inti at Ashcode no. We be say players be na
no.
James Akamenko ho. Apia Makati. Anabila ho.
Yeah.
Inti se setup no untimi wirem. Anabila mo ko Eric Esomaba.
Yeah.
David Abakina Maba. Later world best in Banahine Beba. Inti Abana san e for who Dauda so be making into the team. Yeah. Now he joined a different team in Samates. He now gets more playing time. Now what is in him no what yaba thing. So we are Kotoko na has. Now person koto sa players we mo. Esa so ye proper scout. Now who den coin ben so and a team no bon omu use no. No be say sa team no. Okofani be shemo betima esa adwuma na wontimi nye. Because keke ba Kotoko ko number 10 and ke bia must see a much better keke. But Kotoko no obo 8 kakra, ebu aso obo 6, ebu aso obo 10. Even in terms of position, only one positioner all perform with that consistency and see. But my bottom line is when you're regaining the confidence, when you're a teamer, there's little expectation and there's little pressure. When you're a teamer, he's been made the face. When you're a teamer, when you're players to complement him to bring the best out of him. Players like Okran, players like Dauda Yusuf Moore, Omoye Jumana Mano. And Samates have a solid technical team. So they're a team to watch. So much surprise. Someone name won't say down for Boom more. But if they can beat Adriana, I think that would be the perfect announcement. Almost say Adriana, they will extend it from 32 points to 35 points. And that will be a movement a bit may decide whether Samates can win the league or not. But Yambo coach will so abaso. But game ni but former Kimfesa coach, Nuruddin. What I say adeɛ no ɔde Kimfesa boys ne yɛyɛ no sɛ wonya supporter ɛnkɔ betimi atoa so de Kimfesa ayɛ awɔ adwuma ɔsɛ saa Kimfesa team no ɔde kɔhyɛ aduana 3-1 people forget that sɛ Kimfesa ɛkɔhyɛ aduana 3-1 ɛhyɛ wafa ɔmo hyɛ aduana ɔmo hyɛ Ashgood ɔmo hyɛ Kotoko ɛna ɔmo ne ɛyɛ mediama ball draw that Kimfesa team of build ɛyɛ Frank Boateng wanya Atakusi Samuel Kusi na when your Pius Bafwa that Kimfesa team no not even David Opanfran and no started. And one now Richard Akrufi, Abdul Latif now with Karela, no abenya eye Wadudu Yakubu, wabenya Zubeiru, wabenya Mauli Wayu, eye Ibrahim Osman, na wabenya Enoch Morrison Babayaya, or the sad team be that top of the Premier League. But later Enyomako went bad for him. But Osha dia oil Samates na Jibo. A chira was a coach in Wabain because so Timmy Kimfesa by that top and a normal jigui. And I feel what this Samates the first season you and then the second season. Last season was a no worker. And a no worker. Or say summer boy quite no one at Deben so many excuses. Or call great Olympics or call back to Oli. And dear Jumanama a Nuruddin Adama. Now in its first season or the Samates and move from a team last season.
Or a former to go player.
Yes. A team last season. No more back to relegation. I'm out for refi. Samates survived because I'm going to say Kimfesa or Abrankese. And that you almost say it true. Samates had 46 points. Now, Sene Osha, Obeko 35. So in 18 matches, points are Samates now the last season. I can't just 11. No equal points now Samates. enya na last season with 16 more matches to be played. Yembo coach na basu wa adwuma or ye was Sama Boy Jibo.
Okay, enti CCA league table no Samates were 35 points. On top of the league. Adriana Stars etosumienu with 30 points. There's a second place team in Asamri. Samates elidi omo. Insuatreman etosumiensa omo 30 points. Asante Kodoko etosu 9 omo 29 points. Nations FC omo etosu enum omo 27 points. Bekum Chelsea etosu sia omo 27 points. Enso Bechem United omo 26 points. Mediema etoso nwotwe omo 25 points. Enkuno House of Folk omo 24 points. Great Olympics etoso du omo 24 points. Legon Cities etoso du bako omo 24 points. Dreams FC etoso du mienu omo 22 points. Bibiani Gold Stars etoso du miensa omo 21 points. Karela tosu do 9 omo 20 points. Dunum Accra Lions omo 20 points. Heart of Lions tosu do 9 omo 18 points. Tanobo for tosu do so omo 18 points. And afi Real Tamale United omo ene twato. RTU dungoche omo 17 points. My main fan tuja say Nations FC, Mediama Sporting Club, Dreams FC and Accra Lions obi abo 17 games
Nations Dreams
yeah nebebo
Nations home
Brankes
but because
and Accra Lions so ne Mediama so because of African and as I give it to me
Nations for one stand
Zaki to yeshenra Asante Kotoko game no I say I started raising some questions about Kotoko team no more preparation no di the second round of the Ghana Premier League, starting from FA Cup game, Omoko boy against Karela. Karela show mo come you know mo team and Tombe ball JA Kufuor Cup. Emma Kotoko Eshinsu Atseman e come you know emomo etimu bako. Enra Asante Kotoko edom nano memeda Kotoko edomani echre Pando Omonic Pando Heart of Lions. Omoko na Heart of Lions and that league table no Heart of Lions ehye Kotoko kabako Asante Kotoko entimi ante yenhwe game na yenhwe coach Ogum selection and the system awko yusue e Pando na no memeda no
Dibo bibia kire se menim from day one kwa Kotoko end the first round no it was very impressive. Omoko 6 matches unbeaten. Omo winning 5 and on board draw back. So Kotoko last 6 games no performance no. And I'm Kotoko ebe turn into a title challenges because at the point in time no be say no. If Nema to Sunday corner there, they may not be able to challenge for the trophy. But the last 6 games it changed everything around the Kotoko team. Emobi anya hope. Maybe. Sir, I've come break no, eba at the wrong time. Sometimes when team picks momentum, now people boom, now some break we bar. Most times since we let me affect you. Maybe that have come break no eba at the wrong time for a team like Kotoko because some momentum no my gain no my gather no more the air no. Maybe so break down bar. Satan I'm going to share Accra Lions sorry Heart of Lions or Pandu senke Satan ko mbon Pandu the mbon ko mbon hoy as at that time na nanka ye cob sa break you know eti you understand some of the frustrations of Kotoko chorus no ma pick momentum the form no ma pick you then all of a sudden they see a co break for AFCON and a co break in Yabanti almost 2 months the league is back once again. Kotoko decided say they will beef up their squad. And one area that no beef up was Okofa Kote from Nsotramai. I will be able to right back at the team, attacking right back on the team no more. Then Kotoko went for attack striker in Safiu. Then issues by Safiu couldn't play. But the good news was that, and I say is that Nicolas Nana was suspended no. now or available to play the second round at least.
Or has a or attack or you superb, but we defend you weak.
Yes.
Nti obetimi abon in a 3-back system. Said there be obe up in the defensive game ni kakra. Na omo ko omo nim no, wa shifting it to the right back position and the right wing back position. Enu sa be na defensively wa good. Enu so
no, it can also be a very good ababoa. So, but the other can say when a player has is in qualities. Because now we take to somebody say omo ya boka. Meanwhile, playing him out of position so far the 2 games that he has played no Befi say omo good performance but omo good performance because he hasn't played out of position. Coach no think say play Peter Amidu and answer Nicholas Mensah on right wing back or left wing back no gives him more attacking options or more attack here. Eti they are but then he said a coach no so okun ni ma and other coach no be better than Peter Amidu or better than Nicholas. They say ono ko ni ma crossing no, he's better than all of them. He's a expert in set pieces. Coach say yen kick ball pa yen cross so one of the attribute. So say coach as right wing back I don't know when say ono ko ni ma he cross better than Peter Amidu. Ono cross better than Nicholas. It I think say already me coach him say he's not a man born a chance to play as in a best position that everybody will see him. It's yes a 4 start because like out of the FA Cup losing to Heart of Lions yes start that kotoko and visit Senko or Ombinya, but going forward nothing say something must change now. There be a problem pan sa number 6 now Sharif Eprana season likely on Timbo no. Who replaces him? Bebrefi say Che Jamana Eba no. Even though season ebe first line ebe end no as o pick up kakra. But se Baba Yaya e fitter. Sa no born. Bebrefi say he should rather use Rocky Jamana as that Sa Sharif role no. No one Baba Yaya left is no born na. Because clearly obo Che Jamana ni Rocky Jamana no eliminating Kotoko going forward in terms of attacking options, because these are 2 guys that omuye defensively kakra omu ko menu limited like how na Baba out to the team no. It's yes Jamana Rocky very young wama the glimpses of potential very good player. In the last season in league or show say coach should rather trust one of them. Say Che Jamana no fi say Obeta Sena should trust him. Say Rocky Jamana you should trust him. Now Omomba Kumbo then another player with Lamte in the midfield they have the military call here look at me. Say Lions for like how no too comfortable in the middle. Sabo no she go no ebi abia dwelem ko no so okodim so sa kujwa samo no akomedi ma nyina very talented but one of those guys omunya lucky with moves bi o my bia highly rated all what this of division 1 mpese kai team no is motivo sa motivo to I think Mediama to dreams also and then the deals for Mediama because Mediama no free half a day or highly rated but on your lucky with teams are okobia na akwase entin no off very good player etenda o hwe game ni pa how no me very comfortable playing to the middle. I think say he will need more guys or make more kutabo no finfi ono no because time they got to some bobo no bibia no they play very well eti ogum he should stick to his principle. So if he say coach or the buy then pass or before back he should start it early. Eti
with the new signing court in Nicholas Mensah no so returning back from the band no. Who in the shoes of Prosper Natoguma? How will you set up your team? Quite best na befa so ahihye with team they about the second round of the league. Obe maintaining 3 back na Emma Kotoko about 7, 8, 9 matches. No more in Lusubi, and I said with the inclusion of Nicolas Mensah, said he who no. Young name Nicolas said before the band no, he was virtually Kotoko best player. Last season league no. So about 8, 9, 10 matches. We when you go share takwa Kotoko against Mediema. It's what bay any quality, what kind of quality see. Who in the shoes of Dr. Prosper Natoguma? What's take away to 3 back and answer by change information because Nicolas Kobo right wing back now. The Koba and is a record no, which means defensively he's poor. The strength in air when he's attacking. Who born his position now, won't mean defending. It's one cadena be.
I think that one coach should. So Obetna find a way to cover up for Cote. So Okonima because we've seen that at Liverpool. Trend defensively is not good. But sad period means Liverpool club Eddie Liverpool are competing at the highest level. The other say Trent Ekobiana he makes say another more further shifts to cover up. And even though Trent on the where they were, but teams were struggling to take that as an advantage to punish Liverpool because I remember Ronaldo was doing that job. When Ronaldo left, Henderson was doing that job. It's the club have found a way to solve that problem. Let's say trying to acquire someone cover. It's at Kotoko, Sekote, you better Ogum making sure says Sekote he will get someone to cover that space in there. I think the 4-back will help because 4-back in the back one say it means I'll go back to either 4-2-3-1 as a 4-3-3. So I'll go 4-3-3. The chance say you get all those guys in a attacking position very well. In a 4-3-3, as I say, you have your one defensive midfielder. So over Lamte or whoever you play with, then upon Peter Medios and Nicolas plus Mukwala in a very attacking areas make a partnership opponent. But in a 3-back no, Uba Nicolas at the chance I said okay, you know. So Kotoko defender, he has to be there. Only Peter Medios must be the 4th and 5th defenders when they are defending. So you've added a defensive duties to them which they are not used to. You go in for attackers and you go say over card. If you say for quarter year, the best is to play in the back four. So but the same quarter also can be used in the back three. In the back three, in the sense of more defensive cover. And only our compound and fan on the team going.
The ones are still maintaining the back three.
No, the back three, yes.
Na the fullbacks no.
But what any more should be the right wing back.
Okay.
Send a bear because of the above one said
Nicolas Mensah as well by
Nicolas Mensah. Nicolas Mensah should will be competing with upon. But we are now computer.
Issue no never heard the echoes.
Well, I feel like say I'll start with the question say if you have Isaac Mensah,
Nicolas
Mensah now Cotina, then I'll be prefer so be at the right as a right wing back. Clearly I'll go for Cote in a sense that Nicolas Mensah is returning from a long layoff. a player I banned for a whole year. Who a lot of competitive matches. And on the time where you as an attacker are effective. And then as a win back. So 2 different roles and our man. Like you have add the more defensive duties to Abekano. And to Nabasa Limitino Kakra. So we have a free bar, so what in football in competitively what for 1 year or more competitive match. Me, I don't know why, but I won't use you. Me start you in such a game. No more but me introduce you. Kakra. Yes, I know that coach Nipen. I know that he's very effective. I know that under him. Now he was giving the coach in the pay. But if you rush him, you risk using him. I don't know. Okobo and no the record no buy no. Ogasebia is a bad player, a very very good player. But buy you know, he has signed a role, different role from the what he's noted for. I don't know. And I was lucky that match fitness. Find money in account or lucky that match fitness. So you go. I
mean, say Adriana and the Samates give no more pon. Samates 2, Adriana stars 1. Yapon.
Okay. I don't know. If you give him such a loader, you end up punishing the player. So me free say e hono kodoko take team no ensan hwe obiem. Because if at no time necessarily the time who say almost start me say Nicolas Mensah started at that time. I was asking myself, is that game player no match ready? Is he fit for that game at that point in time? Long layoff 1 year on competitive match we are. So I think that and prior to that crowd match is not going to go airborne. No coach na ball coach no. Even though Onya or the best out of him, like that the Kito can or more at that role no. But that role is role or no can best fit that role because you need say where attacking oriented when he's attacking are effective. It's say a lucky defensive cover. That is why others was a midfielder to do that. That Kito can now say one of the defenders over say another responsibility in covering the right side. That 3 defenders not able right when you are under attack. One of them is responsible to cover that side. One of them is responsible to cover the left side, and the game goes on. So I think yes, coach playing Nicolas Mensah meaning why they decided to play maybe or impress it or training, but you to say match a different from training. Okay. So on that aspect, I will go for that quote. Many problems so quote no be about one starting. It doesn't mean say will be a case of no. We who players go team baby adaptation it takes some time and so but so before say coaches they know better. So the player will take the position. That's why being in the rightful position to play. Once that player will continue to impress, continue to do well at the training grounds, and so because Kodoko first match in the league, while Monty free say now almost rush too much. Okay. We should allow the tanker team also time to do the right thing for more players or more because every day in the morning, in the evening, they train with them, they see them, they know their problems and what have you. So I think that and also Yantia was my coach man informal. And one of those things, a league, yes, we got to form on the first one on the winner. One would expect Senka ever continue, but it goes on that setback in early. When your first caution against Carola, and then maybe they thought it was one of those. And the second caution, Abba, I think that Coach Prosper Ogun experienced enough. Say, Obetimi, I heard what I say. Maybe in their next game at home, one game, I or the right and wrongs, not a picky or more confidence because football is all about
Friday against Gold Stars.
Yes, so against Gold Stars is another big game, but I expect say Gold Stars against Kotoko in Kumasi and say that I want to improve say Obet must stop Kotoko ewa. That game I'm free say over use and correct that wrongs no. Now I'm making sure say the team will bounce back to that the competitive nature now or person will go for it.
But for the so na yanko dan laden seven so.
Well, Carbon bet me amame go now Kotoko concede na. It raises a lot of questions. Now, when you watch the Goa, you raise questions about the positioner Kakwaja Samoa will not have that free space. So be pinball no. Enti Henry also not position no general back no so baby I know general. He was just marking space with no knowledge of what he's doing. Because Sheriff for ball so say he's caught ball watching. Then you talk about Rocky Jamna. I also see the defensive midfielder. He was also caught ball watching. Marking nobody on the field. So just one pass. There were 3 players of Heart of Lions in the penalty box. But just one Kotoko player and an mark yomo. And when I say penalty box in this time, I'm talking about where the action is happening. Into it Justice Blair, no marquee player now. Because somehow was free. There was a Heart of Lions one she go. And also 2 against a team. Your friend is Swatremai. Yeah. Even in that Swatremai, it was a penalty by. And afraid the Kasai CV. That should paint a picture of Kotoko's defensive organization. Ebra started second round. Okay. So the coach should go back to the basis and get it right. Belay, what you say, the energy, battle in the air, or yes, Jumano. But I was disappointed in Sheriff Mohammed. Uti report from Karela. One say a good day. Until they flew almost a man call bench. Defender. Okay. Last season, he was one of the best El Kotoko. This season, matches be our free bench ababo. And a match when your opportunity has started. He has not been playing well. Harry also ended the first round well. But there are no general hoy any day. Coach Papa Bia or Betty. One man was also say Coach Papa Bia as also son. No, say it be a name so Tetian or dressing one and 1 Okay, Coach Papa Bia, it means Coach. No. You name the see what dressing can was him near. Minim so coach Betiano. Anti would reframe was him near. Oh, come your coach, Papa. Into minim so Betiano or dressing one fan. Maybe I was expect says a coach Tiano or man and even until you coach Papa ni free. Okay, fine. But minim say video analyst no ko hegwe a omo fa Harry anso ho nche no. 1 sad dia na defenders o ya no ama won saso no enye waduma wo baby na Harry anso ginan a wo say ma won saso yi. If they put the video on baby wo gina awama won saso no one na wo wachi awama won saso they defend with 5. Yes. And think Nicholas and Bitamidu will come back no matter the 5th and 4th defenders. It's how no. Nicholas should have been the last defender. Yes, so I can. But I say, if it has more on. Okay. And so by how far they go with there, the case and the pan the recovery of Nicholas. Meda say Alasan Sai Zakitu. Rahim Ayu Abedipele ba. Odi futu ama Danlad Ibrahim captain Edema Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Nano ya wadane nyume ena Danlad ekujina TikTok edinsem tudwa se kwan a yede ne efa so ewa Asante Kotoko nani enye ho na kame ayese ono Danlad ne kura no asa mu hia no wotim ne mu biem asa mu hia no ena asa nipa bi na abopo no mbeso mu yini free eya Asante Kotoko team nim eno ena Rahim Ayu on so wasina kan e de ama Asante Kotoko pen o say o the advice way ena Emma Danlad Ibrahim.
These are some of the equipments a lot of people want. You are able to shout on your defender. He is not scared. So, me, I will tell you, don't be in a hurry. You are in Kotoko. They are paying you well. They are taking care of you. And you know Kotoko fans too. And you will be better assassin. Will be better will be big. Will be better will see a case here.
But yes, it's so timing because end of the day, no one to make us over to Kotoko. So, what you say?
I want to Kotoko, but won't be bad, you know, the bat. Change everything is get his spot back. When he gets his spot back, then he can carry Kotoko himself to where they want to be. But I bet if he gets into this pose right now, he might be the captain. You can be the captain. So when he does that, then now he still needs to progress. Richard Kingston, how old was Richard Kingston? And do you know how long Richard Kingston was in Europe before he got the opportunity to go and keep in Wigan? Olele was at the end of his career when they are in their 33, 34, when they are old. With more experience. Buffon is still keeping his 40, 41, 42. Be free. Now, the money you are on Kotoko, how many players in Ghana are on that money? Tell me.
Tina Kotoko na fight for a you place. sika wo je wo kotoko no players do say ene wo Ghana omunya say sika no koso ana yire wo ho na hwese obeje eye wo number 1 position na kotoko de osum na osum ni yi a chitafo ni timi che wo ka mutimi che wo asase mutimi che wo sika kese we Rahimayu na futu awode ama Danlad Ibrahim captain edema Asante Kotoko bafowa the danger man maminti we
you me that say what an advice sir advice we a twofold on me or say on fighting no on regaining the sport. How would Danlad regain his sport?
Training hard at the training grounds.
As
coaches any confidence when we say the training no.
We know say he's not training enough in the sport.
Me no ko hunti no. Ebeye densi ebetimi determine.
You see?
Say training no. Ebi ana Frederick Asare any Poate omu training was so chen Danlad. Ana said Danlad there so so. Nti want to say me no me oni be ko ho akwa no. I had the intimate decided. Bafo.
Any training in Danlad and regaining his sport back.
Oh yeah sure.
Any training. Me Dana okasa ya yetie no. Odno ankasa okasa no gitumu say at a point he got a loss of form. Oluzune form. But you can also only regain the form when you are given the chance. Something he has been denied of. Danonayeka say, well, number one will always or is supposed to be always the number one. Even so, Oluzu form kranwa. The AN say, if you have a man who make a cry, say psychological, then you prepare him. Say a phobia, you work on it. Now I'm the opportunity to come back. Entinka. Kotoko bobo FA Cup, Kotoko bobo JK4 Cup, Kotoko bobo friendly matches. And can you use those matches no? And demand the opportunity to rebuild himself. Send your beya or be regaining a form no. But here is the case, all these matches no, Kotoko Emma Danlad's our opportunity no. And regaining of the form no, the opportunity no crano any o. Sa opportunity no any o. I shudder to think how Danlad ever regaining form no, when he's not being given the opportunity. Tina make us say advice no a twofold no, because say a man has a chance now. Training the obeko. Omomo a selected place they've made up their mind already. Say now Asare is the.
We jina Danlad asem no kan so.
Enye na asem so na me jina.
Na o jina asem be so.
Asem na me jina so ne say. And now me no wo ka say. Kotoko e resume ye no. Omo boy 3-4 matches e bi ni ho ya man a chance no. Even before they went to Pandu. So mo ko Karela. Onka ho bi. So mo omo in Swaterman, JK4 Cup meboa. Onka ho bi. Omo few friendly matches. Onka ho bi. So clearly that opportunity na say the man now team degree gaining form no. Anyhow. Ana
no na make say bia na nti ni kra nye. Eno so e.
O say wo di training ni ba mu a. Sisi ayi. Wa na wo kan yo ye nyina obi anko ho. So assumption. And
a players so are select on based on normal training.
You see, me jitu musa. But the man me the man say. Ntimi nkoba say from the time I drop on as number 1. Free safe the omba match day squad mu no. Ni training no still anye. And somebody is not working. Because you
who is not working? Said Danlad performance score from training now. One then
the goalkeeper trainer is not working.
Ain't problem of attitude so.
Say attitude that then Kotoko should tell us. Other than that, no you.
If I'm by the manage it.
But you do something about it. So you do something about it because the point is that Danlad is just about one of the highest paid players in the team and Ameboa. Enti the attitude onye training ye o say obi antimi nya ho hwe ne agya ne sa na Kotoko bosumi so a na opejeska kese nom de amano so yes it's no good o botim nika one day player ba ko be so like say na me kra ball no me na me bo yet obi me nansa na me ne player bi manager kasai efa team bi say we extend the contract o say scanner on person on demand no obi je more than that na otincha na omo bi. It is not even good for team bonding when a player is being paid so well and omobo oni bi because somebody thinks attitude na say on training very well, but a bad training no dia a coaching for Juma. You have to bring the best out of your player. Say attitude and another matter.
Any player be
so because
players bu ho omudu stage bia oka say u push omu to another stage o push no mapem
ene kotokon releasing manenko e say on to be on improve biem say on kone nim biem
a ka say example na mema based on no examples na
assume say sa na tie dia say player bi wo etisa wo team bi mu a na say we reaching the dead end what ho ye den na wo twa ne ka because we have to also look at that aspect, you know. You can cause financial loss to the club by throwing money away. E wa bra bi be ka na ni twa ne mo ye den. And assuming say what 3 4 5 players or meti sa we twa mo nyaka mo matra house ana. And yes, the lad should fight for his position. And there say if it takes no say or fight say be man say opportunity in there.
Rahim, you say on fighting for the position akotoko supporters there. Obi betimi a chaw car asase na sika bebre.
And now omoye ne sa ati se first no.
Omoye.
Enti se first no. Enti se omoye. Obi betimi a ya ma.
Say no omoye omo mpese bebo omudin.
Okay, mini problem but yenti ene ye hu.
Oh pa.
Obi so timi promise kra e ma me okay. Obi asase bia obi promise kotoko striker ye fence. Amature. O chesi people ne sa o chesi people ne sa me kro ba complain kire me. I say ture. I don't need the papa na opese ye na e won. But ebirum so betimi aye ye num kotoko supporters omo ye very generous. Omo bi ho omo betimi achewa de. Eno so wo ho no mo. But you see, enye no ni ade aye de bobolo. Say me ko botim bi because supporters be chama de. Eno de say wuntimi fan enye yi sa. No. Na djuma no e say oyire ne ho na wo ye no ye ni yie. Na tim no hwe no na sa do de bi sa ba ho anan de na say I bonus na wa benefit. Enti ade chane de me no Rahim yes de ba me no me fu say wo to the lad for anya no na say he's a goalkeeper, he's a footballer, he must regain his form back and be playing say nya ko to kompokra na wherever be obo bia na so you don't know no bo. So that should be the advice. The can one no de and there because say ope obi be che wade aye ope wu anya say enhye so enti and there emamu bi bebre sa enti the situation between the lad and Kotoko no say properly addressed.
Okay,
me there I know say ya there maybe the lad in the contract in this one he will seek to move on.
Captain Mamintio kakra
Mr. Poku the to than lad na say the course between us and Kotoko ni than lad no enyo normal enyo normal in football
e dey man enyo normal
the dey enyo normal they say this is your captain.
I will lose form.
Our first choice goalkeeper.
I will lose form.
Maybe I'll get there.
Say me boa ma de ashim.
Yes. Let's assume we lose form. Right. To the extent that when you're good enough to even sit on the bench, not even presidential match and yet too so competitive. A crown when you're good enough to sit on the bench. Your captain. A player a club na enjoy from. About ball World Cup. Or national team, senior national team. I know say most of the clubs in Ghana here, players are one national team more priority. You more priority ahead of players in the national team. So this is the player or team making a squad to the World Cup. Just after the World Cup, we lose form. Yes, you are changing on I'm a big Debbie. After second spot crown answer to the center on making squad. And somebody is telling me this is normal. So that's where media to say the anybody can say that advice we are say that lack any lack. And you know, yet nobody are to any legend san emano. I cry him. And you know ma football.
And go walk away.
Some people o pray. O say some people pray and put when you long lay off no buy and or bar. You don't treat such players that way. And it's easy to make it to the national team level. Ghana, our local players cry, they want to be a national team abo. Wako waka, Emma Kotoka, Sahon Quine, Yanton's got a tono. Go work out the kind of better than a ton player. No, Majiska. No player, just 1 or 2 games off. The entire team was not playing well. Now, Yasalano uncle number 2, first goalkeeper, captain, uncle number 2. After the bench, friendly match cry bar, one come home. For all this match, now you to always say, so Kobiana no can, as I the lad Aka Sembia, as a one. Hey! Any partner no be a fan who well, but blank any shoes move. Now, and you know in football, make us way. Over football, the way football will go home. Shall cast one mind never players, now say, goalkeepers, say if they go to this such treatment. So, say you been other cast match of the home this other Jumadia. And you think that one was here.
But they won't to say down la phone about phone.
Oh, and the poor form the player be at TBC, Cristiano Ronaldo TBC, Leo Messi TBC. What time you play the form on the border? But you down form the other for this boy. This boy they total you know. Near making squad. To that's the match Danka President Cup. Side game cry the mouth say that match playing you know. And when you say transport to call. Now fight your position. This is not about fighting your position.
Rahim Ayu.
Rahim Ayu. This is not about fighting your position.
Rahim still.
No matter I want to believe say some now for no matter how hard the lad waiting yamanemo. Because the nipa be akoka baby so obi dem say obi suit says I don't need to talk about league. I said the lad take part at league in Emma so. Hey,
to Oji2 is any form with no madro.
Form there, you don't want to but you know say. The make say you no man on the make na. Me say you no man say, but no the pedigree no kotokoro. He's the captain oh. Team captain. One of the oldest players in the squad, even though he's young, but what runs through the ranks, kotokoro turn from lower I say under 17 player. Kotokoro loru ko Kinvesa kakra no ko Chelsea. What I say, I got tough in waba. What that team could have magic league. Me wa. Etino wako off back one. Esa ko to damp so the adampuni. After the ko boss ko na so ko homa. Over the last 5-6 matches. So what who Dala do 20 or 23. Ko to me for more than 20 players. Na Dala dey count. Okay. And somebody is telling me say otra ko to na say or fight ya ko to go with me so asase. Or young 21 years. So what my bobo no enya more than the channel. Oh, yes, I watch it. Obey here, so no again by on one hard work. It's with my advice to the player. They say, yes, he should continue to train. He should continue to fight for the position. By the end of the season will be let's the situation answer, sir. That day, Jai Kotoko.
Say, me do is here. Number to so. Zach,
Jibo. When we say the lad, dear.
Oh,
Bibi abana.
Siasia.
Sir.
Kojo Ben Junior. Kojo de Oyuki. Kojo the message aba.
What's he saying?
Siasia.
Kojo.
Put your shoes in Poitiers Nasari too.
Menka said, oh no, but
are they farmers or equipment officers?
There be Menka so teacher for all the players.
He was not on form. And the club can't wait.
But you don't treat it such that way. Because you are making 18 man squad. Or making 20 man squad.
Are they farmers or equipment officers?
They are not teachers.
Dagito.
Joe. That lad. Sam em the odi obe na pa. Onse.
Abena mshia no. Me catch and so on for me hu na me score was it Saturday na nwumro se dabe. But me timi friend back.
Who dey be say obe no. Obi a oti wa say.
Akosuaba Kojo say was Magua a carpenter when he lost his captaincy at Manchester United?
To the that lad no. Magua was always in the squad. Just on a movie. But we had opportunity to come and play.
Okay.
I want my example. I see to the lad you go through no.
Okay.
Me dey me feel say Jibu Mr. was when time now all the offer na or the advice and say baby a no. I was just checking. Let me share. You know, the last contract will end June 30th.
This year.
Yes, June 30th. The last contract ever ended with Asante Kotoko. And based on the contract that me and the duration na me no. O de mesra wa to no for say Kotoko dey only future biom Kotoko. Enti bebia obenya ni career bia bebia team bia bebia no say good for him or the onkobo na Kotoko dey there's no future. Na no hwe Kotoko dey Lions game no. Mu atade na ogum she. O so tuntum. Ogum she tuntum. The same star na atade na o say afi no she white bi. I say milk color bi. Ni certain thing. I say cream color bi ni certain thing. Ba na cream. The same thing no share ba we na tuntum. E no share no e wo you know. You see na Kotoko no. Operation team for no. O me very strong pa. Oh, say cream no one man share.
Hey, Zakito.
Dress and pa. Oh, someone akwantre.
Asembeni.
Oh, gumno. You better dress and pa. Say you tie. No, the best. Emma.
Now so gumni first is not me jacket black, inner black, mommy and tra black. And also no operations.
No, I say Britain for dressing.
Now we there.
We the Ghana for dressing. We the Ghana for dressing. Eh? Eti operation team for no. Akwanche.
Enya akwanche.
No the boy I say operation team for na na.
Akuto onimogumie.
Oh, I know him very well.
Unim nie pa.
I know him.
Okay, that was way.
Unim kakra. Eti baby I dey do no. Operation team for no. Jibo. They've taken over Kotoko. Omo na eche how Kotoko should move. Kotoko akobo match mpo omo eche tama Kotoko tu. Omo na eche movement. Everything.
How many operation team for no?
O send them say obi ani momo ase.
Hwan.
Oh, mo.
Na boy wa kan wasem obodi ase wo mu wa. Oh, one operation team.
Safu e kan bi.
Safu jam video ti o.
Oh, safu jam video.
Ko boni dina. Safu jam asam na o kan nya no ya. Ono be face say.
Safu jam video operation.
And safu jam video kan mo so ogum ko she black no. No me bisa question nya botre.
Oh.
Omo si ogum ko she black and safu jam fika.
Operation team no. Omo.
There safu jam fika won.
This operation team there operation team.
There be question.
How can we be no?
Safu jam fika won.
How can we be no?
The question is safu jam fika won.
I'm so how operation team be how can.
It is safu jam fika won.
Omo we akwantre no.
Okay.
Eti
omo na chere time abas.
Oh, bia mo be mo chere.
Safu jam fika won.
Omo na no se bas no.
Samu safu jam fika.
So mo ko dware bas no se bas no betimi accident. Ana mo ko dware bas no. Afei Kotoko.
Omo ko ye dey.
Omo ko dware bas no.
Like it right there.
Oh, ba se mo ase. Emo ba for be story sen ka e pam driver. O want it. Eti ane de the operating team of Kotoko are very powerful. They are the most powerful tool now in Kotoko. The operating team of Kotoko. Now the operating team no. I'm so on the best ya on kasa. On the enzo ko fo bonne charge pa. Bonne charge pa. Now operating team no na ese the lad e ba lock. Now makwa ko ehwe mo wi say pastor bi kra ko bomb pa bi ma no.
Asembu a kan careful.
Oh, I'm telling you what have happened.
Asembu a kan careful.
Ama what has happened? Odi mpacho after the lad. So also me say no call.
Do I kwa me na kwa nan kasa bi.
O wa the lad account. Friend akora no.
Ah.
And one was o bechi a. Ya friend.
So it's a pressing team for no say the lad. And you be zero no a. O cat team no a. So what the Belgian boy be musu am Kotoko. Mo ntimi je leg no.
And obi dia banza kito be dem one day.
Oh we dey in sama. Eti asami nya no. Eti based on the air course no Jibo. The reason why the boys not keeping no, even though I accept say form adepo kakra.
Form adepo pa.
Oh me say pass because goals now what they share no me there any fault. So I'll be able to go there and goalkeepers mistake by form not the
political season, you know.
So
The last one political, you know,
yes, because he was me a certain time na politicians at work no.
Na boy about bandit to my fan say you say we politicians.
Oh, say that time no
politicians no.
Politicians.
But that the form the call from Zakito. Enye ayi Ogumba you. Last year Ogun po buy no because oye captain am ye sure say Ogun man start here ahead of Frederick because last year especially in the second round na Frederick wa focus to go post na view
no but
he was like obey number 1
but also konchen the lad by also go see goals be
technical team na kan ho asem nei no omo na e buy ya led by Ogun omo na buy ya omo ma dan lad sabeda post ni
and so but there
no continue on the bad form no showcase last season
and now operation team say me asa make no and yes on down operation team me say the boss will be on the bench asa me tell you almost the lad no he shouldn't be on the bench because so ka squad no pa enyima nkon kan fa mo eti ka that form so ate no wo da anya bia nka obetena bench I accept me dem I agree say today fairly Asari's form no better than the lad and if Asari number 1 at least the captain of the team should be on the second one to be on the bench but you say the captain no the lad no 5 choice goalkeeper and Kotoko and so what say say way clearly any football reason
Thierry Keji Poate is better than all the goalkeepers, but he's not getting playing time.
Now the question two Karela.
And they should be no.
No. Who say you should be
I say down la don nebi.
And you should be
It's not nebi.
It's more look like say bia. Way. Yes, you should be so maybe should say anya piano say the lad any number 1 as a captain of the team no. Say football reason quite say on bench. Okay, come na Asari the nane you know. Since we started no, not the nane bench. Asari was number 1 at point and the line number 2 no not a bench. And Asari by number 2 and the last by number 1.
Internet just go to go post and share number 1.
It is a first Asari by number 1 in Bioma. The last will go back to number 2
and will be a bayad say 2 no from number 2
and the has 2 number 2. Number 3 so I saw Nadia to number 3. Division 1 goalkeeper be Abba. How can you tell us this kind of another story?
Division 1 on what bench da.
Now what bench on President Cup no. On that bench. How can someone give Zakito this another story? Say now Galad is so good enough to be even third choice behind Poate and Asare. Clearly, any football reason Jibu.
Obed.
Operations.
Well, this is why we need Ogumo post match now. Never say it is
we be say it no man.
Yeah, I saw ba.
Ma ko fast ma be.
No, you need it. This is why we need Ogumo post match.
And say it no man.
There be so it will do the club more harm than good. Because you leave people to assume. People will fill the void, gap never better honor with their own assumptions. I
say assistant coach,
this is what Kunya said.
Assistant coach.
Yes, on your charge.
I saw only
charges.
And I had a mate in the driver in Yajuma.
Mate in driver, and the Hamco Faba, mobile same.
There be a question, sir.
The mate in the driver, and your mate in the driver. In Tiere says, I charge you, Cludia. I say, and they do a bema, say more Runaba, because one have commerces and draw for no sono. I bet you also bet take what could sweat Yakakra. My main question, I mean, Chia
of Pato Laundry Services, but for your more light, but on my connect to mobile phone media speaker and almost share or muti or Pato and the laundry service and no Ashtown. I'm not light on
a mate and driver and you do me a light.
Obed
and I know sanity.
Obed,
you mate and driver and
Obed. Just when I was supposed. My patcho.
Two now go for light. Yeah, you know, I go for light.
My patcho, Hesuna.
It's come back.
Hesuna sports. Obed, your sports.
Light and count. You light and count. Whom you can't create
2 for now. Twas way.
They So back to Asamani Ekan. Yampesi abetri asem no bebre. Ogumata de shene de. Jiwo. Atare shene de on say obia ni de ogidi. Omo gidi, omo believe in days of the week no. De bia ni atade omo she.
Ogum believe in days of the week.
But your omo believe in days of the week. Ti de bia anu bo hu atade obehye. Omesha atade based on their beliefs say that way if you have this color around you you can be successful. They uncle force our. Nti bia nipa no be steady no or come be fa so aye na de. You obu also or the ade bi e de. Or try ade bi na farmer na or stick it to that. O believe say about be a lucky element or dey be kan. Ogum start to share vest nyene. I've seen Ogum in vest over a long time. Say wash a vest no consistently. No but tie no you way. So a honor maybe a fun. But the bottom line is Kotoko goalkeeping department no. There should be an element of fairness when it comes to the positioning of a year the obeda pool and the under pool. Dan lad, if you are calling a spade. I deal with a BC or Felix time no. A BC or Joseph Ado. And the man Ado call Diana no. Once a BC Ado time no. Anybody else who are losing the position. Isaac Amaku to me sustain kakra. Because at the point Isaac Amaku be a fourth choice. In one of the free Coco Dreams FC. Oh, if you better Felix Anan, in one of Felix or better bench on Tena bench, Abelora Krabai. At the point, Felix, Abelora, Dan Lad, not all struggle, and all the two crying. Oh, so my point is that goalkeeping department, my establishment in your clay. Way air number 1, way air number 2, way air number 3. This particular problem is see when you have top goalkeepers. I'll be a chance of be justified. There were advantages for the club, it would disadvantages for the club. Yes. And me draw said dentina we end that dentina me anas argument maintain ye because the other no more than what saying. Or yeah dear. So on yard na still yet in the demo you have issues. But over them or yeah dear now on yard. Is he performing or not? If he's performing, then you need to stay at the bench, improve your performance and fight for your position. And one no. Now the issue about Poate. Poate sooner say he is knocking on the doors for opportunity. Let me use a coach be man one Kotoko player or say sometimes. Oh, and in and out and around.
That means never time as my
name coaches be Brian Kotoko and me need system no.
And
oh, and you do have a actually. I'm in your year.
I'm for tactical analysis
for different things.
Oh yeah, video analyst
for different things.
And now we are scout.
They were different.
And now operations team. No,
operations. They mean me. I believe in the scientific aspect of the game. You know, you do Sunday. I know will be a qua. That's a different story. But what I'm trying to say is that coaches need back one need Maka say. You will play what to bench. It creates issues. Issues
because of maybe and a pedigree.
Exactly. And Nubina, Eric had a year Ronaldo.
So I'd never try bench.
What the tra bencher? The original bono on buano to do a fan. If he's not fit to start, put him on the bench to create issues for you. Pep Guardiola the BA Joe Hart.
Okay. Sulemuntano kwesi apia.
What I say? Almost said you're born, they be near the near comparison. I said, if you speak to coaches, they will tell you this. So sometimes, if you are not fit to start, being on the bench, you know, a different form of headache, a different form of comparison. To bench, coach Walker when you are free team to maintain the order in the system.
Okay.
So you have big players in time bench.
Oben mami announce line from 0536161607 0536178883 with me afre baby bia wuti e wo hwe on Promise Radio 102.7 and afi Promise TV. Say
so that is the conversation. One more steady and you're clear.
You're first caller.
Number 2 or number 3. It should be based on position. Okay. We don't want to know about that. But your demo yard, yeah. You can cast your uncle food before from that.
Yeah, more about Dini baby Akase free.
Welcome to the Accra Sports Stadium.